Hi everybody, this is a very quick video about some things this week. One is we're going to have our first exam later in the week. It will be on Blackboard and it will be a mixture of multiple choice and short essay questions. And there will be an additional questions that will be on the assignment portal because you'll need to draw something for the answers and upload it. And if Blackboard can't do it for the exams, I'm going to have to do it on the assignments. I will clarify that once I put it on Blackboard and see its capacities. And the short essays are going to be weighted more than the multiple choice. I believe it's about 56 to 44 points respectively, with 56 points being essay. I believe it's around that range. If it's slightly different, don't say I said something wrong. That's the rough range in terms of the weight. In terms of the essay questions can only come from lecture. Of course, the textbook might talk about the same material, but if it was in lecture, it's possible for a short essay question. And for the short essay questions, definitely you don't need to write in full paragraphs. You can use bullet points and phrases as long as you're clear in what you're saying and you make all of your points. And for the essay questions, I also recommend that you make sure you answer all parts of the question. Most essay questions have several parts to the question. Make sure you answer every single part of the question. The multiple choice can come from the textbook alone. So it's possible to have multiple choice just from the textbook, although obviously it could come from lectures also. Given that, in terms of reading your textbook, I would say concentrate on knowing major or large conceptual ideas and be able to define those major concepts and be able to identify examples of those major concepts. So the textbook, and certainly if I talk about it in lecture, there'll be examples, real life examples of that concept. And again, it will be on Blackboard. I will update you about the exact timing of that, but I'll give you at least a couple days to complete it. And my plan is that, and again, I want to see what Blackboard's capable of. My plan is to split the multiple choice questions and the essay questions. And so you could take the essay questions and the multiple choice questions on different days, and that might be useful because you will probably be doing different types of studying for those different parts of the exam. And certainly if you have questions about the exam, please let me know. I will update you about the exam on Blackboard. So this is just a general sort of announcement about that. And then on the schedule, a class scheduler is something about choosing your topic for the signature assignment. So that's not going to be a major thing at the moment. We'll talk a little bit more about this after the exam because I want you to sort of concentrate on the exam. But at the same time, you can start thinking about the signature assignment. So this is the syllabus. So here on the bottom of page 2, it says the outcomes assessment, which is basically where you're going to be graded on, all these things. And then the signature assignment is this, and the signature assignment is common to all Psych 101 sections, except different professors can choose different options of the questions that they ask for this. But the signature assignment itself is common. And essentially, I don't want to force you to write a whole paper for this, and so I'm going to have you do a PowerPoint presentation. We'll talk more about this. So it could be a standalone PowerPoint presentation that you submit, but if you're able to do a video, that would also be another possibility. But we'll talk about this in more detail. So I don't want you to necessarily write a long paper. I want you to present a PowerPoint, making your points and doing your analysis on the PowerPoint, which I think will be, in some ways, quite easier to do in terms of time you'll spend actually completing the assignment. And you'll see there's a bit of a weight. This is standard, so there's not much choice for me in this. This is a standard 15% of your final grade. And you go down a little bit further and it will give you two choices. And so one choice is you can pick various things. So it could be a movie, music, a TV show, art, video game, real world event, life experience, so your real own life experience, or other sort of media and popular cultural source. So this is, again, these are standard questions. So if you have questions about this, let me know. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking that thing, that example that you're going to be using, and you're going to use 5 to 10 different psychological concepts that you learned in this class to talk about that thing. So, for example, if you choose a movie, you're going to be taking that movie and you're going to take 5 to 10 different psychological concepts, and you're going to say how those concepts are seen or illustrated or exemplified by that movie. So basically, you're going to use those psychological concepts to understand the movie, if you will. Sorry about that. So basically, you just want to show that you can apply those concepts to some sort of real world thing, including things like movies and TV shows. And so you should basically demonstrate in your PowerPoint that you understand the concept and you can use it to do some sort of in-depth analysis of something. And then the second choice is here. I kind of want to put this up a bit more. So here it says evaluate how accurately a psychological disorder of your choice is represented across 3 examples from media. So media includes movies, current events, documentaries, TV shows, etc. And so here, you might not know exactly all the psychological disorders, but you might have a general sense of it, but you can definitely look at the textbook. And at the textbook, I think I might have it open. Actually, I don't here. Here it is. So if you go to chapter 13, if this interests you, this choice, go to chapter 13 and I would suggest skimming the psychological disorders to get a sense of what's there, and then choose one of them. And so basically, you're going to be using a psychosocial model, basically what we're talking about in class. So when we're going through class, we're talking about how behavior is affected by biology, by psychological factors, and social factors. And so basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking examples of a disorder from 3 different types of media. So it could be like a movie, a TV show, and another movie. So those are 3 examples. And you're going to basically talk about how they represent that disorder. So things like, are they accurate or inaccurate about that disorder? Do they perpetuate myths or stereotypes about that disorder? Given the different different aspects of social cultural things that those media may have, so like you might have an old movie and a newer movie. So you might want to say that those 2 movies portray that disorder in different ways because they're in different historical times. That would be cultural influence. So if you think that there's differences in how the different media that you choose portrays the disorder, you might talk about some of those differences may be linked to cultural factors. So that could be history, it could be it's from different countries, it could be it was produced by different people from different cultural backgrounds. So basically there's an etc. here. So there's different things that you can examine in terms of how your 3 media examples represents the disorder. I'm just sort of looking through here, so you should not you should read the whole thing, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. And basically, it's sort of similar to that previous topic, which is basically you're going to be graded on the depth of your understanding of the disorder and the aspects of the disorder, and also the connections with various topics discussed throughout the semester. So the more you can discuss again, the bio, psycho, social connections, the better. And for this one, it specifically asks you to use your textbook and at least two peer-reviewed journal articles as references for explaining the disorder. So that probably stands out to me as maybe one of the contrasts, is that the first one does not require extra references except for making links with the material in the course. So you choose one or the other. So see, there's an or there. So you don't have to do both. It's one or the other. So I want you to start thinking about which one of these you might want to do and explore it over the next week. And after the exam, I will have you declare which topic you want to do. And if you have some sense of the media that you want to use as your examples for analysis, that would be also really good. Of course, you don't necessarily need to have it all in hand, but it's just meant to get you working on this. And my aim is to have you work on this in little bits throughout the semester. So in the end, you're pretty much going to be done with it. You're finalized with it, and you don't have to rush things at the last minute. So again, I want you just to sort of think a bit about which one of these choices you want to explore. And I will touch base with you on this next week. And I guess the final thing, which we kind of saw, is I'm going to post this on Blackboard, is some people may have found that the link is dead for the action potential, so I'm going to post that on Blackboard as well, a current link that I've verified as working. Okay, well that's it for now, and I will talk to you later.